Alpine Electronics is one of the world leaders in car audio technology, with a reputation for sonic excellence, system flexibility, and product reliability. Nowhere is this company philosophy more evident than in the production of amplifiers. Alpine amplifiers are designed and built to outlast and outperform competitive amplifiers. This approach assures quality, reliability, and die-hard performance. The standards in testing for Alpine amplifiers are rigorous. The factors most often responsible for the failure of an amp have been identified, and through exhaustive environmental, electrical, and load testing, these factors have been overcome. The effects of digital technology in the car audio marketplace dictate a certain approach to manufacturing amplifiers. Today's amplifiers must be able to drive low impedance loads and have greater transient response. Alpine amps embody these characteristics. Alpine now designs amplifiers in the United States, so sound characteristics and performance are being directly targeted to the American listener. Alpine amplifiers are designed to always meet or exceed specs and are compatible with competitive products, assuring high performance, ease of installation, and optimum flexibility. Combine these factors with Alpine's commitment to produce the most reliable product on the market, and the result is a powerful, durable line of amplifiers. Exclusive star circuit topology, duo beta circuitry, and advanced power supply design solidify Alpine's position as leader in the amplifier marketplace. Hi, I'm Mike Silber, Technical Services Manager at Alpine Electronics. We're providing this video program to demonstrate the advantages of the new technologies built into Alpine power amplifiers. One of my associates will be conducting some lab demonstrations, and then we'll present a segment on something we at Alpine feel is vital to achieving system excellence: installation flexibility and upgrade capability. We're proud to have developed a state-of-the-art product that's designed to compete with and outperform the competition. Now, Tony Hicks, Alpine's Technical Communications Specialist, is going to conduct some tests in our new Applications Research Center.
As Mike just described to you, Alpine amplifiers have become a major force in the car audio industry. I'm going to show you 5 tests that clearly demonstrate some of the added features and benefits that our amplifiers offer both the consumer and the installer. These tests will allow you to see how Alpine amplifiers perform under real-world conditions. Alpine's commitment to sonic excellence forces us to identify and address several factors that are critical to an amplifier's performance. One of the factors we've identified is the ability of an amplifier to deliver its rated output at any audio frequency. The first test I prepared is designed to show how Alpine amplifiers deliver full rated power throughout the audio bandwidth, from 20 Hz to 20 kHz. Here we have a dual trace scope with 2 amplifiers hooked up, an Alpine 3543 and a leading competitor's amplifier. Both are rated at 100 watts per channel in stereo. For our test, the amplifiers will be operated in the bridged mode. The top waveform is the output from the Alpine amplifier. The bottom waveform is the competitor's amp. As I start the test, we're looking to see which amplifier makes full rated power at 20 Hz. The competitor's amplifier clips before reaching its rated output of 240 watts bridged. Clipping translates into audible distortion, which produces muddy bass and can easily destroy tweeters. The Alpine amp easily makes its 300 watt rated output. Not only does the 3543 provide more power in the bridged mode than its competitor, its actual clipping point is at 340 watts, 40 watts more than its rated output, and 100 watts more than the rated output of the other amplifier. Before we proceed, I have to hook up another amp. Now we're going to perform a similar test comparing another leading competitor's amp rated at 320 watts bridged to the 3543. They're not exactly the same power rating, but they're close enough for the test, and we'll keep in mind the competitor's 20 watt advantage as we go through the demonstration. As you can see, the competitor's amp is severely clipping at 250 watts. That's disappointing for an amp that's supposed to deliver 320 watts. The Alpine amplifier is delivering a clean 380 watts even at 20 kilohertz. Let's take this a step further and see what these amplifiers can do at 50 kilohertz. The Alpine amplifier is still clean at 50 kilohertz. The other amplifier was very unhappy with this high frequency input. The irregular waveform produced by our competitor's amp is an indication of slewing distortion. To further enhance the performance of our amplifiers and to achieve unparalleled sonic excellence, we've developed an exclusive circuit design called Duo Beta. This design uses two separate feedback loops, a high-level DC loop to increase the stability of the amp, and a low-level AC loop to increase transient response. This unique combination gives our amps the ability to operate under the most demanding speaker loads while still keeping the excellent transient response so important when reproducing digital audio. This test demonstrates how the use of this unique technology improves transient response, increases slew factor, and drastically reduces what's called transient intermodulation distortion. This type of distortion, usually referred to as TIM, is responsible for the harsh, thin sound of many competitive amplifiers. Duo Beta circuitry is an ideal example of Alpine's commitment to sonic excellence. And we're not finished with this test. The 3543 has a slew factor greater than 5, which means it can deliver clean power at 100 kilohertz. Let's check it out. This test shows us that Alpine amplifiers provide clean, accurate sound reproduction even in the ultra-high frequency range. Although 100 kilohertz is outside the audio bandwidth, an amplifier's ability to reproduce ultrasonic frequencies plays a big role in the definition and clarity of audible high-frequency sound. This is especially important for transient response, which is the ability of an amplifier to react quickly to big changes in signal level. Passive networks tend to put excessive demands on a power amplifier. Sometimes impedance may instantaneously drop to below 1 ohm. Conventional amps that use current limiting circuitries will severely distort or even shut off when used with these type of networks. Alpine has completely eliminated current limiting circuits to improve sound quality. In order to demonstrate the high current capability of our amps, let's compare the 3543 against one of our competitors. Once again, I've got to change amps. Our competition's marketing strategy stresses high current capability. In this test, we'll be using a 400 Hz, 5% duty cycle tone burst to compare the current output of the 3543 versus the competitor's amp driving a 0.1 ohm load. This is representative of the very low impedance that an amp sometimes encounters for a short time in extremely reactive speaker systems. This waveform represents a 6-volt peak into the 0.1 ohm resistor. This means the amplifier is putting out 60 amps of instantaneous current. The competitor's amp shows a 5-volt peak, which translates to 50 amps of instantaneous current. In other words, the Alpine amplifier delivers over 15% more current than the competitor's amplifier. Now I'm going to hook up another competitor's amp for our last lab demonstration. This test makes another strong point regarding Alpine's manufacturing philosophy and the criterion we've set for our amplifiers. Perhaps you've heard the effects of one type of radio frequency interference while driving in your car listening to AM radio. It sounds like this. This type of radio frequency interference, or RFI, is caused by switching noise in the power supply of an amplifier. We are one of the few serious amplifier manufacturers who also manufacture head units. So we have an acute interest in tuner performance and the effect that an amplifier has on a tuner. This brings us to another important point regarding Alpine amplifiers, and we call it product excellence. This test will help to explain radio frequency interference. Here I have a spectrum analyzer set up to monitor the AM frequency band. The information on the screen shows the RF noise floor. The peaks that you see are the AM radio stations. This is an Alpine 3522 amplifier. Watch the screen as I turn the amp on and drive it into clipping using a 2 ohm load. There is no change in the noise floor of the RF spectrum. Now I'll turn the 3522 off and perform the same test with a competitor's amplifier. On the right side of the screen, we see an increase in the RF noise floor of 10 to 15 dB. This interference is stronger than most of the AM radio stations that a tuner usually receives. That means these stations will be masked, and instead of hearing the radio broadcast, you hear the noise that we demonstrated earlier. These filters, along with special attention to circuit board topology, layout, ground configuration, and superior design, ensure that Alpine amplifiers will perform their best. This technology eliminates amplifier interference with other system components, including your tuner. When you're serious about performance, everything counts. The amp on the right is an Alpine 3543. High-quality capacitors for optimum noise filtering, glass epoxy circuit boards for durability, and high current transfer bus bars for superior transient response are all examples of the quality we build into our product. Few manufacturers are as dedicated to achieving this level of product excellence. Believe it or not, our competitor's amp on the left is an actual production model sold every day as high-quality, high-performance product. Our ability to achieve product excellence is supported by manufacturing amplifiers with total accuracy, consistency, and quality. Alpine factories are highly automated and use only the best equipment and techniques. It's this type of manufacturing environment that earns Alpine a reputation for long-term performance and total reliability. While these demonstrations clearly show the impressive performance of Alpine amplifiers, there's another chapter to our story. In his introduction, Mike mentioned Alpine's intensive efforts to simplify installation and pave the way for convenient upgrades on car audio systems, which is the key to our other philosophy point, system excellence. Now Rich Coe, Alpine's Assistant Vice President of Technical Development, will explain our latest advancements in these areas.
Out here in the installation bay is where product really gets a chance to prove itself. And Alpine has a long history of reliability. Now, this is important to me personally because I'm the guy that ultimately handles repairs, when I'd rather be dealing with upgrades. We've developed several key features for Alpine amplifiers that address all the levels of system upgrades and ease of installation. From entry-level systems to the ultimate and competition systems, Alpine amplifiers offer significant features that assure true flexibility and sonic excellence. First, I'd like to talk about channel bridgeability, which represents flexibility and upgrade capability for both system design and installation. Channel bridgeability allows the user to convert any two channels into one, with more power than both channels put together. The consumer can then upgrade to higher power without replacing anything. We've incorporated this into our entire line above 20 watts, which means our two-channel amps can be bridged into mono, and our four-channel amps can be operated in either 4, 3, or two-channel modes. For example, you can bridge the rear channels to drive a subwoofer system and keep the front channels in stereo. This can be done without adding another component because the four-channel amplifiers feature a built-in active dividing network. This is more than just a subwoofer output. It allows you to have independent high-pass and low-pass capability for both the front and rear channels. This is highly beneficial in a single amp system because the front channels can be set to drive a tweeter mid-range speaker system, while the rear channels can be bridged to drive a subwoofer. Some amplifier manufacturers produce built-in crossovers that are just low-pass, limiting the network to subwoofer use only. Alpine continues taking strides to guarantee that when technology is added, both the installer and consumer obtain the maximum benefits. We're excited this year about a new feature called multi-mode. Multi-mode addresses the consumer who's just starting to build a system and allows simultaneous stereo and bridged operation of Alpine's new amplifiers. The most common application is in a single amplifier system because it allows you to add a bass speaker or a center channel speaker without adding another amplifier. We at Alpine are 100% committed to taking the leadership position in power amplifier market. You've watched us become the digital leader in head units, and this year we'll gain lots of strength in power amplifier category through tremendous commitment and investment in superior engineering. Alpine is maximizing the performance, flexibility, and reliability of the amplifiers we produce. Now, these efforts ensure sonic excellence, system excellence, and product excellence, the three common facets of all Alpine amplifiers. And now I'd like to briefly recap what we've shown you. You saw Alpine amplifiers clearly make full rated power at 20 Hz and 20 kHz, and even reproduce clear audio out to the 100 kHz band, and how our exclusive duo beta circuitry helps prevent distortion. We also showed you how the filters in Alpine's amplifiers protect your tuner from interference and sustain maximum performance under demanding situations. Now, that's an inside look at what we at Alpine Electronics are doing to produce the best power amplifiers in the car audio industry. Built-in active dividing networks, multi-mode, and bridgeability are just a few of the major advantages we offer. We demonstrated how Alpine amplifiers excel over the competition in basic laboratory tests that closely represent normal operating situations. When you demand sonic excellence, system flexibility, and product reliability, the only logical choice is Alpine, producers of the best amplifiers in the car audio industry.